Now I'm going to play a game where I highlight some oddly specific tropes, which I have a lot of books that match. This one is the collection of books that I have that feature a dragon that can turn into a hot young man who falls in love with the female lead. This is a subgenre I don't have much of because I don't like it. It is the magic rides off into the distance at the end of the series subgenre. I think you can blame Tolkien for most of this, because this is just the genre where at the end of a series, everyone who's super magical gets on a boat and sails away. And I don't own much of it because if it looks like the series is going that way, I stop reading. We also have weird supernatural bonds with sometimes mythical, sometimes relatively normal psychic animals. These are just books featuring Merlin, because there was a time that if it had Merlin in it, I would read it. So I don't have many of this particular trope because I find it obnoxious unless it's played as a joke, and even half the time then I hate it. But these are books that start by telling you it's going to be a dark and depressing story. These are all fantasy novels featuring queer romance. On the other hand, these are all books that for some reason I felt was going to be a queer romance, and it never happened. Like, sometimes it was implied, sometimes it was my imagination, I'm pretty sure. Like, this one, yeah, there's nothing really queer in it, but I just really felt that the two male leads were going to end up together, and they really don't. And it still breaks my heart, because they would have been a cute couple. This one's a thick harvest. This is the collection of books, some of which represent entire series of books, featuring sort of Artful Dodger-esque arrogant thieves as the protagonist. What these books all have in common is they feature slightly snarky sentient cats. There are also a few genres that I do not own a lot of on purpose. It's just there's a strangely large amount of them out there. For example, weirdly kinky fantasy. Yeah, there's a lot of it. But also, vampire werewolf love triangle fantasy. No matter how hard you try, it will turn up. Generally speaking, there are a lot of oddly specific subgenres within fantasy, some of which I love, some of which I hate. What are your favorites?